Hello guys, welcome to Spalavanyana. This is the first video under the engineering statistics playlist. So without any waste of time, let's start. So we'll be discussing descriptive statistics, which deals with how to organize and summarize data so that it can be easily interpreted. So guys, you need to familiarize yourself with these keywords so that you can understand the language. You need to know what we mean when we say a data, what is meant by statistics, population, and samples. We have two types of data. We have the qualitative and the quantitative data. So the qualitative data is data that cannot be measured. You can only observe it. Quantitative data is data that can be numerically represented. We have two types of data under the quantitative data. So we have the discrete, which takes up certain specific values like shoe size. It's either you wear size 4 or 4.5. You won't find like a person wearing 4.567 whatever shoe size. Continuous data can take on any value within a pre-selected range of values, like height. You can be 1.652 meters tall, so it does not have any specific values. So getting to organizing and summarizing of data, firstly we'll be discussing the frequency distribution table. So given a set of data, firstly what you have to do is you'll write the description of the data you are given, and then you list all the available data values under the description. Then you will have to go through the entire values, and as you go through them, you cancel them and represent them in tallies. After doing that, now you're going to count your tallies and write the frequencies for each of the data values, as you can see on the video. So now we are done. You're going to add up your frequencies, and then now we can find the relative frequency. So meaning that we are finding the percentage of each frequency relative to the total frequency. At last we are done with the frequency table. So now we are going to look at another method we can use to represent or organize or summarize data. Do you still remember the statement? Since we are done with the frequency table, so we can take the frequencies from the table and plot them on a dot plot. So that's the final answer. Number 3, histograms, is how to draw a histogram. Number 1, determine the number of classes using the Sturges rule. N is the number of data that you have in your set. So using the same example we've been using throughout so that you can understand, we had 30 data values in our set. So guys, I want you to pay attention to the brackets I'm using. So the bracket simply shows that for every answer you get, you are going to round up. So I mean, like, even if you get 5.1, you are going to round up to 6, because you can't have 5.1 classes. You gotta have, your answer has to be a whole number. Step 2. So now you have to find the class width, which is your range divided by the number of classes, which is k. Your range is the maximum minus the minimum value. So using the same example, guys, so the class width is basically the difference between the class limits. We have two class limits. We have the lower class limit, which is the smallest number belonging to a class, and we have the upper class limit, which is the largest number belonging to a class. So guys, when it comes to the class width, you have to choose an answer that is very convenient to use. Like you saw in the example, we got 1.1, but we decided to use 1. So you need to choose a very convenient number so that get like multiples of 1, 2, 5, 10, 15. When you are done with that, you can start with your frequency distribution table now, which has your class, the frequency. You can even add the relative frequency. It's okay, because sometimes you might draw your histogram based on the relative frequency. Guys, you need to look at your data, and if you see that the minimum number that is in your data it's not convenient to use, you can start with a number that is smaller than it. For instance, if the minimum value in your data set is 147, you can either start with 140 or 145 depending on your class width. Guys, you need to work according to your data. There is no formula or code to follow. So now you'll be done. You can draw your histogram. Here's a question. You can try to draw a histogram from this data set. Here's another question you can try. So guys, if you check on in the description box, there's a link that leads you to our Telegram channel, which is linked to a group. So guys, where we'll be posting all this material, the questions, the solutions, and slides, notes that you can use that I found helpful when I was doing this course. So guys, yeah, I will be sharing question papers, past papers, things you can practice with. So guys, please follow the link